Hello and welcome to the AC Talks podcast. Here we talk about business trends and news on the technology market. If you're listening to us through podcast platforms, be sure to follow us. And if you're watching from YouTube, subscribe to our channel.
Hello everybody, my name is Leen van Toor. IT service companies are growing all over the world. The economy is flourishing. This kind of service companies are also spreading over the continents in the world. Avenue Code is up to this kind of expansion to Europe. We have here Zeo Solomon available to talk about this. So Zeo, what's happening with Avenue Code and how come that you want to go to Europe?
Nice to meet everyone. It's actually a journey that started back in 2016. So the company was founded in 2008. We've expanded first to, it was founded in San Francisco, California. So it's the heart of the Silicon Valley. We are a technology company that was a natural place of birth for a company like ours. We expanded first to Latin America, which is our friendly neighbors, and Canada. And it was a natural progress to go to Europe eventually. We started trying to break into the European market expansion back in 2016. We were very close to acquire a company in the UK, in London. We've literally agreed on all the terms. The agreement happened the day before they voted for Brexit. Now, no one expected Brexit to pass. So as a result, we kind of ignored it. Then we woke up in the morning and found out that the UK is exiting the Union, and that kind of threw a monkey wrench in the whole entire process. So we pulled out, we waited until we see what the landscape is going to be like. We re-entered back in January of 2020. Perfect timing to re-enter a region 2 months before the major shutdown. So that was another, and in the second time around, we entered through Amsterdam after, or the Netherlands in general, after thorough analysis of what's a better suited country to enter, to put our European headquarter. And again, it was 2 months later, the entire continent shut down. Eventually, the entire world shut down until pretty much we're kind of coming out of the slumber right now. So it has been an interesting journey. We keep trying to enter, but major, global events have kind of been against us a little bit. So interesting, but right now is the time, and we're very optimistic that this is going to be the time that we're going to launch our practice in the EU.
Okay, there's a saying, the third time it will certainly succeed, so it will succeed. So you're up to coming to Europe, and you did some attempts at this moment. This is now the third time, and it will go ahead. But what do you bring to Europe? What is the company Avenue Code bringing to Europe?
Well, we've entered, it has been a natural progress for, we are specialized in custom-made solutions for e-business, from large brick-and-mortar e-commerce, some of the largest in the world, to any other industry outside of e-commerce that inherited e-business and now are newcomer to it. The whole entire journey of digital transformation on e-business started it was led by e-commerce back in 2008 after for those of us that remember the financial meltdown, the global financial meltdown in 2008. Obviously, companies to save on costs, they had to automate. And that was the true birth of the digital revolution. And that was the birth of Avenue Code 2008. We just took a leap of faith and we realized that this is probably what the world would need in the foreseeable future. Now, the progress was led by e-commerce in the United States. They were maybe it's actually a gift from Amazon. Every e-commerce company, every retailer had to compete with Amazon online, and they had to double down on their spending on their digital channel to compete with that giant comer that is dominating the market. So as a result, the natural progress was heavy investment and innovation in the e-commerce space in the United States. Eventually, it moved that trend moved from e-commerce to other industries, such as insurance, fintech, health insurance, healthcare, media, as a digital distribution of media, such as Netflix and the rest, and banking, fintech. So it moved to other industries, which is still very digital, but they are less digital than e-commerce just because of the trend. Eventually, it moved even to further down the chain to agriculture, heavy manufacturing, waste management. All of these have caught on the digital revolution that was led by e-commerce earlier on. Now, while that was happening, that progress happened in the United States, the rest of the world, we are about a couple of years lagging behind. Yeah. So while, the digital revolution was really the birth of it was in the United States in 2008, it actually started to spin out in the European market, maybe in circa 2011. So what we're bringing is our know-how on how to give the birth of digital revolutions or digital transformations. We were in the forefront of it is happening in the United States. We were in the forefront of it is happening in Latin America, and the natural progress is to be in the forefront of it is happening in the European geography as well.
Yeah, and that's where we can have additional value to the customers to bring this knowledge, this experience to the European market, and let the customers in Europe profit from it.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to share one thing with you, though. Commerce or trading had existed for as long as humanity existed. So we're talking about thousands of years. E-commerce or e-business had existed for roughly 20 years, more or less. So we are still in our infancy when it comes to e-trading in any form, whether it's actual commerce or banking or healthcare or whatever that is. So many people claim that they are the experts in it. That couldn't be more inaccurate. The fact of the matter is, whomever has been in it a little longer, knows a little bit more than the next person. And we just happen to be lucky enough that we were in there in the forefront of it. So we don't claim that we're still discovering it. I think the entire world is still discovering what methods and channels that technology can give you as far as online trading. And we just happen to be lucky enough as a group of people that we were in the forefront of the entire digital revolution spinning off back in early this millennium.
Okay, so indeed, Avenue Code can help and assist with this digital transformation here in Europe to accelerate that with the clients, together with the clients, bring them on a higher level. Is there also in this formula, what you can present to the European market, is there also a place for the people in Brazil and Canada and America to support that transformation of European companies also? Can they help? There's a few hours difference.
Absolutely. So we are not geo-fragmented. We operate the company globally. So we're really after talent, not after location. So our consultants have been exposed to some of the world's most complex technology innovation projects. And they have gained this knowledge and they are equipped to share this knowledge globally as well. So whether our consultants are in Brazil, Latin America, Argentina, Mexico, the United States, or Canada, their talent is what we're offering, regardless of where they are. As you already know, the world is moving to a distributed model anyway. But aside from that, the footprint of these few geography that I mentioned, they're actually quite close to each other. Like Brazil is, I believe, 5 hours difference from Western Europe, which is very manageable in terms of time frame. They're 1 hour from New York City or the eastern side of the United States and Canada. Canada is 6 hours from Europe. So if you see, like, we're kind of in the middle of it all. So all of our talents, and of course, we are expanding with new talent mining areas in Europe as well, that would serve the European market in addition to the rest of our global consultants.
Okay, so working from Europe is one of the aims, from Amsterdam, from other cities maybe also?
Absolutely. So we're duplicating the model that worked for us, which is, again, I'm going to go back to it's if you find our technologist, technology company's job. I mean, our product is our people. So we mine for talent pretty much everywhere. If you find the talent, you can build a business model around them. That's the truth. So regardless of where we find the talent, they will be available globally. Much like the other way around, with getting development centers set up in Europe, that doesn't mean that they're not going to serve the North America market. We're open to that as well. It's all about building the right talent globally. I have to tell you that's one of the things that people ask me, like, how we're about 1,000 people right now, probably moving to 2,000 quickly, and there's a reason that we're not 5,000 to 10,000 people. We could have been, but we're literally our growth is limited by how fast we can procure the right talent, and you know, when we think of geographical expansion, we don't just think of a market, we think of a talent mining as well.
Okay, great. Question about Asia. Why Europe over Asia?
That's a very good question. In fact, I was just thinking about this morning as I was walking here. We're just, you know, we think we have ties to Europe. There is a cultural match. Most of our clients have European branches. We haven't really, we somehow we're aligned more with the European way of technology deployments or technology consumption. We like as a company eventually will go to Asia, but we haven't done enough studies around the Asian market, and it's quite saturated in a way that we don't think that it's easy to enter if you're not from that region and you don't have strong roots in that region. So eventually we will, but it's not in our radar right now, to be honest.
Okay, and that brings me also to a question. Do you expect that business is in Europe like it is also in America? Or is it, what do you expect there?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our clients list right now, and I'm not at liberty to broadcast it, they are all global brands, but we're a stronghold in these three geographies that we're operating at, which is Latin America, North America, and Europe. So most of our clients have strong roots and in these three regions, not as much as in Asia, because Asia has its own market. So it is quite. It's a natural progress for us to expand to Europe as a third region after North America and Latin America.
Where do you think that you will stand in a year? Where do you? Let's rephrase that. What do you think in a year time? Where are you proud of at that moment regarding Europe?
I have set a company goal to back in 2018. The 5-year goal to be a truly global consulting companies serving the three regions, which is Latin America, North America, and the European market, with the same exact quality all across and with diversified service offerings. And I think that in 1 year, this is the time to do it. It will be about 4 years from the time I set the time, so we'll be very close. We're way ahead, by the way, in terms of realizing this goal. So I'm proud to say that I like the analogy of third time as a charm, but the way that we operate at Avenue Code, we operate based on perseverance. So if it's not the third time, it'll be the fourth. If it's not the fourth, it'll be the 100th, but we don't give up. So we're gonna get there. We did have a little bit of a couple of hiccups because of global events, but even that didn't slow us down. We're having a lot of tractions in the European market already. We already have a very strong pipeline, both in clients and in talent. And so we're looking up to it. It's just a matter of executing. In 1 year, I'm going to be proud to say that European will be fully established as our third region.
Okay, I think that are marvelous words to end this conversation with. I want to thank you very much for this conversation, and looking forward to the next podcast.
Thank you so much. Bye.
See you on the next episode of the AC Talks podcast. To check more of our content, access avenuecode.com. Thank you and see you next time.